the root of all of it comes from anyway. It's basically, if we didn't know what sin was, we just do whatever we wanted, right? And we wouldn't know any better. And it wouldn't even matter anyway. But we get so caught up in things sometimes like, you know, what if I do this? What if I do that? Should I not do this? Should I not do that?
Come on.
But it all comes down to, we get so wrapped up in Christianity that we start thinking about all the rules. And it's real simple. Jesus says, place all your cares upon me. Place all your burdens at my feet. And all we got to do is love Him. It's that simple. Just love. Believe in God, believe in Jesus, and love. It's that simple. But we try to make it a lot harder than it is. And so that was just a thought that was on my mind this morning and yesterday. But if you will stand, we're going to go to the Lord in prayer.
Jesus.
If you will, bow your heads. Father God, we come to you in prayer this morning. Lord, we love you so much. We thank you, God, for all that you've done for us, Lord, this season of Thanksgiving. God, Lord, we have so much to be thankful for. God, we're thankful that we can come to the house of the Lord this morning and to worship, Lord, and praise your name, Father. God, we're just thankful for the children here, Father.
and Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, we remember the gigantic risks and leaps of faith this man did to bring equality and civil rights to so many. We just celebrated Thanksgiving, and hopefully you found something to be grateful for. I know I did, and all these special days help us remember, especially in a time where it is so easy to forget. We need reminders.
The church celebrates two major holiday seasons, Advent and Resurrection, also known as Christmas and Easter. Advent is where everything around you is dying. It's getting colder and we are driven inside to sit around fires. The day is getting shorter and shorter, the sunrise is getting later and later, the sunset is getting earlier and earlier. Everything about our world drives us in, to slow down, to sit around the fire, and to talk. As everything gets overcast and the sun goes away, these two seasons make observations about the world around us. In the spring, everything comes back to life and we celebrate resurrection. It's Easter and Jesus comes back to life in the spring. Advent is supposed to be this time where we draw in and think about all the dark and dreary places in our life, all the places that are off, all the places that need to die, all the places where we will stay until we get to Lent. The first day of Lent starts with Ash Wednesday, where you think about the dust we came from. Advent brings us down and we stay in this place until resurrection, until spring, and then we celebrate with a massive celebration called Easter. The reason many don't connect Easter with Christmas is because our culture doesn't do this reflection. We are too busy with consumerism and materialism. Advent isn't really observed because we don't do good at going inward. We don't do good at looking at the places that are off in ourselves. We no longer do this thing of pull in for Advent in our culture. For us, Christmas time is big. Deck the halls with Christmas lights and trees and Jesus is coming. But that isn't what Advent was designed to do. Advent was designed to pull us in and make us reflective. All of us can fall into this, even as a church. Christmas wasn't meant to be big. In fact, the Christmas story is meant to follow down into its just pause for a moment and close our eyes and reflect and hope. I want to encourage you at home, if you spend the days indoors or in and out, the time that you are there, just grab a candle and sit it in a central place and just light it. And as you walk in and out of every room or sit at the TV, walk to the kitchen, whatever route you take, and as you see the flame just flickering, turn inward for a moment. Turn inward for a moment. Let's turn inward to see the hope that has already come, the love that is there, the joy that God is bringing to the world, has brought to the world, and also the peace or the love that the Lord brings to the world. Today we're going to reflect on hope. Advent hope will always be small. It's not big, it's not flashy. Christmas is about a God that became small enough to be accessible. I believe there are times that we see God as being big and powerful and He can do all things, but Lord, what about little old me? Am I too small and insignificant for a big God to take time out of His busy schedule to attend to my cry, to hear my prayer? And I will tell you today that yes, even though God is big and mighty and strong and able, He is still so small that He can hear our faintest cry. Proverbs 13:12 says this, hope deferred makes the heart sick, but a dream fulfilled is the tree of life. Some have dreams, some have nightmares. I love this season of Advent. I love to go inside and slow down. I haven't always liked this time because I like to get the most out of my day, and when I would get out of work, when I would punch a clock and get out of work, it would already be nighttime, and where has the day gone? But I love to go inside. I love to slow down. I like the darkness settling in early. It could be that I'm getting older, I'm not sure, but I'm starting to really like it. I have been preparing so much for this message in the Advent season that I had a dream on Friday night. It was a crazy dream. I wouldn't call it a nightmare, but it wasn't one of those dreams that I dream about having. But this dream was a dream of having another child. And listen, I was not prepared for this. I didn't know that this was mine. Where was the 9 months of preparation that a mother is supposed to have to make this inward transition to be able to care for this child? Melissa, I got up thinking about you. I got up thinking about different ones that are with child during this season, and I thought, it can't be. I laid in the bed and my breathing was heavy, and my body was paralyzed, and I said, what to do with this baby? Like, you know, the dreams that you have that are so real, that when you wake up, it catches your breath, and it's like, yeah, I assure you that is not me today, but in the dream, it was me. I had not carried this child in my dream, and so somewhere in my head, how could this be? How could this child, when someone brought them to me, say, this is yours? I said, no, it's not. This child is not mine. I have 5. I have 20.
Come on.
I'm telling you, to breathe heavy and to be paralyzed when you wake up is not a good feeling.
Oh, no.
How could I not know that I had another child? Where had the time gone? How in the world did this happen? My words exactly was what to do with this baby. Advent means help is on the way. And boy, did I need help. What to do with this baby that now depends on you for everything. Something so small yet significant in that it changes everything. When we had Mia, immediately when I found out I was pregnant, my whole everything just kind of changed. My head, my everything. I was in the preparation mode of the changes that are going to take place. I'd already had Macy, so I understood what that was like. I understood being excited and then the changes that would take place. And so baby number 2, you already go. I mean, you're excited for like a split second. You're still excited, but you're preparing. He had not experienced that yet. He was like, you act like you're sad. And I'm like, no, our life is about to change. And he understood that when we found out we were pregnant with Keely. He understood that, yes, even in that excitement, having the new baby, it changes everything. You have the carrier, you have the bags, you have the extra diapers just in case. You have 5 outfits just in case. You have all this baby paraphernalia that you were already out of and probably gifted to someone else. But see, Advent is about anticipation and expectation, a kind of hope that is small enough to be accessible. We are living in anticipation and expectation, but we are occasionally blindsided when what we anticipated, expected, or hoped for looks different than what we get. Right. In my dream, I wasn't anticipating or expecting another child. I have plenty. So I wonder how Mary, the mother of Jesus, felt to have never known a man yet be pregnant with Jesus. I'm sure she had anticipation and expectation just like the rest of the Jews. They were expecting a deliverer, one like Moses who would set them free from the oppression of the Romans. Yet she wasn't expecting the one hoped for to come through her. Yet somehow in Mary's smallness, she was accessible for the Lord to enter this world through her. In Mary's smallness, she was accessible. I imagine she was caught off guard. She was breathing heavy. She was probably paralyzed momentarily as she asked, how could this be? Something so small yet significant
in that it changes everything.
Yes.
When I say small, I don't mean insignificant. In fact, the smallness made it accessible.
Yes.
Its accessibility is what made it so significant. The smallness of the Christmas story is accessible to smallness. Those who seem insignificant by society. The first being Mary and Joseph. They were a rejected couple who had been shamed by society. Joseph had to privately put Mary away because she was with child prior to the ceremony.
Right, right.
The smallness was also accessible to a group of shepherds watching their sheep. The smallness was also accessible to the Magi, which we make out to be a big deal, but in the Jewish culture, they were insignificant because they were pagan kings.
Right,
But in their smallness and being pagan, they were still accessible to the smallness.
Jesus.
They came to worship this small baby, something so small yet significant in that it changes everything.
Everything.
Then there was Simeon, and throughout the Gospels of Matthew and Luke, you will find these stories. But there was Simeon. In Luke 2, it says this: at that time there was a man in Jerusalem. This was after Jesus was born, and Joseph and Mary did what was proper in that day. They abided by the law. It said that if you had a baby boy, you had to take him to be shown or dedicated to the Lord. And so here they are taking this baby boy. It says at that time here was a man in Jerusalem, or at that time there was a man in Jerusalem named Simeon. He was righteous and devout and was eagerly waiting for the Messiah to come and rescue Israel. The Holy Spirit was upon him and had revealed to him that he would not die until he saw the Lord's Messiah.
Yes.
That day the Spirit led him to the temple. So when Mary and Joseph came to present the baby Jesus to the Lord as the law required, Simeon was there. He took the child in his arms and he praised God.
Yes.
I used to think that Simeon just lived in the temple. And maybe he kind of did, but I kind of thought that he was just there. He happened to be in the right place at the right time, and in comes baby Jesus, and he knew exactly what had taken place. But the text says that Simeon was led to the temple.
Right.
So I'm thinking he was probably off duty, doing something else besides the priestly duties at this time, when he was led to the temple by the Spirit. That's what the scriptures say.
Jesus.
What an incredible narrative. Here Simeon was living in expectation so much that he recognized immediately the one who would come for Israel. Imagine that. Imagine being about your business. You'd already clocked out. You'd already done the day's worth of whatever you had to do. It was somebody else's time. You were off duty. And all of a sudden, the Spirit of the Lord leads you back to your job.
Come on, man.
And you witness the thing that you have longed for.
Jesus.
I believe Simeon lived in anticipation and expectation of waiting, but not just waiting, but waiting forward. We don't have a problem waiting in this culture. We wait for the jobs to call. We wait for somebody to show up. We wait for, I know different ones have vans that come and take them to their appointments and stuff, and so we wait for them, to show up, and we wait. But here Simeon was waiting in full expectation, waiting forward. He could have easily said, Lord, it's my day off.
Come on now.
Lord, it's not my time to be in there. It's somebody else. But the Spirit of God, he was so in tune that he was led by the Spirit of God into that place so that he could witness the Messiah.
Jesus.
I don't think Simeon was this big grandiose person or character in Scripture, even though it said he was righteous and devout.
Yes.
I believe he was just a regular old somebody else doing this regular old job and doing what he had been called to do when the Lord said, go back to the temple. I think sometimes the Lord comes to certain people, and that other people, and I used to do that until I got to a place and I said, what? I can hear the Lord for myself.
Jesus.
I remember, and I don't mean you can't call up people and say, hey, I need a word, I need to speak because my life is so chaotic, because I do that. There's times we come in for meetings and I'm like, okay, I just need to get all this off my chest so I can make sense of it, because right now my life is so chaotic, I can't hear anything. And there's safety in that. There's safety in having people that you can trust to get things out in the open so that you can pretty much hear it for yourself.
Yes.
But then there's a time that you got to hear the Lord for yourself.
Yes, you do.
And I believe if we're honest with ourselves, we've heard the Lord.
Yes.
We've seen and we've heard His promptings to do things, and instead of changing direction because it was our day off.
Oh, come on. Come on.
We've stayed clocked out.
Yeah.
Come on.
And so here we have Simeon, this Messiah that he saw, the deliverer. He didn't come as an adult riding in on with a massive army. This Messiah, this deliverer, came in the smallness of a child to be presented to the Lord as the law required.
Yes.
Jesus is our hope. That is why we light this candle this season.
Yes.
And even though the smallness of the Christmas story was accessible to some, it wasn't accessible to the bigness. Herod tried to find the smallness to squash it. He wasn't accessible to the smallness. The Magi went a different way.
Right.
Joseph had a dream and got up and left before the massacre took place of the smallness that threatened his kingdom.
Yes.
In Matthew 2:16, when Herod realized that he had been outwitted by the Magi, he was furious and he gave orders to kill all the boys in Bethlehem and its vicinity who were 2 years old and under, in accordance with the time he had learned from the Magi.
Jesus.
See, this wasn't the first time a big figure tried to snuff out the smallness by a mass slaughter of children, of small children. Let's back up for a moment to the Old Testament. You still with me this morning?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's back up to the Old Testament. Moses was a deliverer and Pharaoh was the oppressor. God used Moses as a partner. I don't know why God wants to partner with us, but He does.
He does.
He chooses to. He loves us. He wants to use us. He wants to partner with us to get the job done and to bring hope into this world. That's why He sent hope through Mary, who was accessible to something so small as a child. This king could not come through a palace. It would have been flashy and big and glamorized. But God had to send something so small through a woman.
Jesus.
Hello? All right.
Jesus.
All right.
When women weren't so popular.
That's right.
Come on.
So here we are in the Old Testament. Moses didn't deliver the people alone. It started with the midwives. Something so insignificant.
Come on.
Yet it was in the hands, the power was in the hands of women who were insignificant in this time.
Come on now.
To take their time to get to the birth of these babies, and they say these women are vigorous and they are strong and they have their babies before we even arrive preaching any all this for somebody else. It's for somebody else, but
Jesus.
here you have these midwives.
Yes.
Pharaoh was not threatened by females. Wow.
Jesus.
Oh,
Help us, Lord.
because in his eyes, females were small and insignificant.
Mm.
But the males,
All right.
he wanted them dead.
Yes.
God forbid they multiply and get stronger
Get strong.
and take over.
Right.
He was looking for muscle to come in through these males to take over this empire so that now this muscle could be on the top of the throne.
Mm.
That's not what the Lord had in mind.
Come on with it.
The Lord never wants to build empire. He wants to build kingdom.
Kingdom. Yeah.
And when we come in with all our guns and our muscles and all this stuff to get on top of the top, we then become the oppressor.
Jesus.
We then become the enemy. We then become the one that we were trying to snuff out.
Tell the truth.
Jesus.
So here you have all the males ordered to be killed at birth because Pharaoh was afraid that one would rise up to deliver the Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
See, this actually in Exodus, this story of Moses is really the Christmas story.
Mm.
Before the Christmas story.
Right. Before the
Christmas is just retelling of this ancient story. A central piece of the Exodus story is a little baby Moses.
Right.
And this little baby is going to change everything. Again, I don't know why God chooses to use people. He really doesn't have to.
Jesus.
He could do it all himself. In Moses' time, he could have sent the plagues.
Right.
He could have spoke to Pharaoh himself.
Right.
But he keeps choosing to use this
Thank
guy,
God.
Moses.
Yes.
Why?
Jesus.
Why? I think it's because of his smallness and his accessibility.
Yes.
The best thing Moses could have done was ran away. Tell me God's not in it.
Come on, man.
Tell me we worry and fret over some of the things that God's already taken care of. We're already making a mess when we try to snuff out evil. I'm not saying that we just let it run rampant in our lives. We have to take authority over those things that causes us to be contrary to who God created us to be.
Right.
But we be trying to snuff out the evil in everybody else, and we create more chaos
Jeez.
and more of a mess.
Jeez.
And then it gets messy and it gets sloppy, and year after year we're dealing with the same junk, the same stuff.
Jeez.
But hear this baby. This baby. What God will tell Moses is that he has got to go to be the message. Not tell the message, be the message.
Be the message.
This is who God chose to partner with. Something so small, yet significant in that it changes everything. A baby. A baby. What is the Christmas story? The story of a little baby entering into the chaos.
Yes.
But this time it isn't a partner. It's God himself showing up to be accessible.
Yes.
Aren't you so glad
Yes.
that he is accessible? He is
Thank you.
accessible.
Thank
Have you ever thought of the mystery of this child being God wrapped in tiny flesh? It's incredible that God would trust the bigness of his story in something so small.
Yes.
I don't know if any of you are suffering or broken during this Advent season. The whole year brings something new to all of us.
That's true.
But here we are again at the first Sunday of Advent.
Jesus.
Is it really the bigness that you seek? Or are looking for a God who will become small enough to enter even your story.
Jesus.
What are you looking for this Christmas season? We think pulling out the decorations will get us in the Christmas spirit. Christmas songs been playing since Halloween. I was shocked. We think if we just get the tree up or get that right gift for somebody, something to click and we'll get in it. And then December 25th hits and we realize that everything we worked so hard for 24 days is now coming to a close and we're still the same person.
Still the same.
We didn't turn inward to look at ourselves. We didn't visit those places that seem dead or in chaos. We stayed busy in the chaos of everybody else's life so we didn't have to look at ourselves. And at the end of this season, we're not better than we were. We're not the same that we were. We're worse off because now we're even sick that we spent so much money. And we're in worse shape than we were when we started. I'm not telling you not to buy gifts or decorate your house. We did some things last night.
Come on now.
And it was great. But Advent is about dying.
Come on.
It's about turning inward.
Yes.
It's about observing the seasons and saying, okay, God, winter is coming. The fall is here. The seasons are changing. The trees are bare. God, certainly when the spring comes and there's life once again on these branches, surely there will be life in this body.
Yeah.
Come on.
But not if we don't shed a few things first.
Right.
I'm not going to tell you to shed some relationships because that's what we used to say. Well, if you get a different group of friends, no, you're going to be the same person in that different group of friends.
You better go ahead.
Oh, yes.
I can't tell you to change your family because you're born into that or you're married into that family.
Yeah.
But I am going to challenge you to turn inward. These Wednesday night classes, even if you couldn't be here, there are books available for you to order off Amazon.
Yes.
These classes have helped us to turn in, to look at us.
Yeah.
Not our neighbor, not our spouse. Listen, I got all my family here this morning.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's not often we all get to be in church
Thank you, Lord.
at the same time.
Jesus.
Chaos is abounding at our house all the time.
Jesus.
I'm constantly saying, be nice to your sister, be nice to your brother. Quit hitting her, quit touching her, quit looking at her.
Yeah.
You can't say her name anymore. Quit calling each other by name. Because it's just so chaotic.
Everywhere.
But as chaotic as it is, the love is even greater. These kids would fight for each other.
Jesus.
Even as chaotic as it is
Yes.
in our lives,
Tell the truth.
dude, we'll fight for each other.
Come on.
I'll fight for you. I'll stand up for you.
Come on now.
Even if you're wrong.
Come on.
Even if you're wrong. I will stand up for you because I know who God has called us to be. I know what He's doing in this season, in this Christmas season. It was the same thing He was doing way back when in the book of Exodus. He was delivering His people. He was causing them through the oppression to shed some things that were not life-giving.
Right.
And it causes us to turn inward.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Is it a God that doesn't have to send an earthquake or a fire from heaven, but a God that would be small enough to sit with you,
Yes.
hold you, and be with you? Advent hope will always be small. It's not big. and it's not flashy. If it is, it might not be. It might not be. Christmas is about a God that became small enough to be accessible. I want to ask you as you stand, I want to ask you this question. Are you small enough to be accessible? Are you small enough to be accessible? Many times we aren't accessible. We can be awkward about having real conversations because we are used to just coming and going. When do you pause to allow the smallness of God, the one hoped for, to come through you? Again, Advent hope will always be small. It's not big and it's not flashy. Christmas is about a God that became small enough to be accessible. Thank you, Lord. And I mentioned the ego earlier. We all struggle with that. So it's not directed at anyone in particular. We all struggle with, are we good enough?
Yes.
Wanting to be good enough, wanting to be confident enough, walking into a room sometimes and wondering how you will feel in that group of people. But listen, when that ego is inflated, it's big. That inflated ego tries to snuff out the smallness. But when it is deflated, when you make a conscious effort to go inward, to begin to deflate that ego. Sister Hamright, I love your word. Wow. Wow. When we go inward, Sister Curry. Wow. Deacon Young, when we go inward. Wow. Alicia. Wow. When we do this inward work, this deep work, smallness is accessible. It's accessible